Welcome back. In this course, we will explore essential components that make up effective composition in graphic design. Composition is the backbone of effective graphic design. The main goals of this course are to provide a deeper understanding of the use of composition in graphic design, focusing on fundamental concepts that enhance visual storytelling. We will learn essential compositional elements including framing, the rule of thirds, leading lines, and contrast, which guide viewer perception. Additionally, we will explore how to use these principles to create dynamic visuals that effectively communicate messages and evoke emotions. First, let's start with framing. Framing is important because it shapes how a subject is perceived within a visual context. The decision of what to include or exclude in the frame guides the viewer's attention and ultimately shapes the narrative being presented. For example, consider how a close up shot can create a closer connection with a subject, drawing the viewer closer to the emotion being portrayed, while a wide shot can establish context, providing a broader understanding of the scene. Now, let's discuss the rule of thirds, a fundamental compositional principle that involves dividing the frame into a grid of 9 equal sections. By positioning key elements along these lines or at their intersections, we achieve a natural balance that captures the viewer's attention and highlights focal points. This technique enhances visual interest, making an overall composition more dynamic and engaging. Then let's talk about leading lines, which are an essential tool for guiding the viewer's eye through the composition. Leading lines can be literal, such as roads, pathways, or architectural elements, or they can be implied, like the direction in which a person is looking. Using leading lines effectively in designs helps establish a visual journey, creating depth and inviting the viewer to explore the image further. Another essential aspect of composition is contrast, which relates to differences in color, brightness, and texture. By strategically using contrast, we can emphasize certain elements within the design. High contrast areas will draw attention to specific points, making them stand out, whereas low contrast can create a more subdued and harmonious tone. Understanding how to manipulate contrast allows us to highlight important information and enhance the overall readability of our work. Balance in composition is also essential. It can be either symmetrical or asymmetrical. Symmetrical compositions foster a sense of order and stability, while asymmetrical compositions can convey a sense of movement. Achieving balance ensures that no part of the composition feels overly heavy or neglected, resulting in a harmonious visual experience that captivates the audience. Now, let's dive into color theory, which plays an important role in affecting mood and perception. The choices we make regarding color can dramatically alter how a viewer responds to our visuals. Complementary colors, which are located opposite each other on the color wheel, create a striking contrast that can evoke feelings of excitement and vibrancy while drawing attention and energizing the composition. On the other hand, analogous colors, which sit next to each other on the wheel, foster harmony and cohesiveness, often inducing feelings of calmness and tranquility. For instance, a design featuring warm colors like reds and oranges can stimulate energy and enthusiasm, while cooler tones like blues and greens can promote relaxation. By understanding how colors interact, such as complementary or analogous color schemes, we can enhance the emotional response to the visual message. Similarly, the use of white space or negative space is important in enhancing clarity within a composition. Often misinterpreted as just empty space, White space serves a critical role in enhancing readability, creating focus, and fostering a sense of elegance. These empty areas surrounding subjects allow the main elements to breathe, focusing the viewer's attention and preventing the design from feeling cluttered. Properly using white space can elevate the overall impact of a piece, making it more accessible and easier to understand. As discussed in earlier lessons, establishing visual hierarchy within a composition is another key concept that helps guide the viewer's eye. Establishing a clear visual hierarchy involves using size, color, contrast, and placement to prioritize information. This can be achieved through various variations in size, color, contrast, and placement of elements. By giving prominence to key information, we ensure that the viewer can grasp the intended message quickly and effectively at a glance. Texture, the visual quality of surfaces within the composition, adds depth and interest, enhancing the overall sensory experience. In composition, they can also help differentiate elements within the composition, creating a sense of realism that draws the viewer in further. Lastly, we cannot overlook the concept of movement within a composition, which can infuse energy and dynamism in our designs. Movement can be suggested through diagonal lines, the positioning of subjects, or even through the use of blurring lines that imply action. By incorporating movement into our compositions, we can guide the viewer's gaze and enhance storytelling, making our visuals more dynamic. It's important to understand that by applying these principles, visual communication transforms itself into a more powerful tool for conveying ideas, emotions, and narratives effectively. Each composition we create can tell a story, evoke feelings, and communicate messages that resonate deeply with the audience or consumer. Practice and experimentation are key to mastering graphic design composition concepts. Explore your creativity to produce compelling compositions that effectively communicate.